Can't knock the hustle.
Can't knock the
As
niggas-
Jay-Z would say.
Can't knock the nigga's tooth out his mouth without getting a smile in return. I don't. What does that even mean to these niggas? Oh, shit. We on and popping?
We're good.
Over red and popping. No stopping. Listen, we in here. We out here. Welcome, and welcome. Let me give you my Billy D voice. Welcome to the Jizzy Jazz Bake channel. You are now watching on YouTube for all you niggas. And listening to Watermelon versus Pumpkin. Watermelon, that's melons with water in it, I think, versus Kin Pumps. You know, listen, the niggas, y'all gotta know what the truth is.
Man, you see the pumpkin in the back. Man, I'm telling you, the dollar store is flooded
with the melons.
Oh man, they know that the pumpkin is creeping over the horizon. That's what it is. It's kind of like you hear the war drums right now.
Bunch of dancing fucking pumpkins coming down the street, nigga, with spears.
It's white people dancing off beat to it and shit coming over the mountain. I'm telling you, you see
just the watermelon sit on the porch. Like, look at these niggas.
These motherfuckers over
Y'all
here.
ready now? We already done. We got the best months. You niggas is gonna frigid and die.
Yep. But I'm telling you, man, that dollar store has as many pumpkins as you can need right now. They got all the Halloween decorate, everything, and
we're gonna do
it's
better.
Not even September.
Listen, and because it's a vast, bigger variety of options to choose, we're gonna have some pumpkin taste tests because there's so much fucking pumpkin.
Yep.
Watermelon is a toss up. You know, watermelon, you get that kind of people flavor that shit any time of year. You know what I mean? Like I can buy a watermelon juice in the middle of fucking December somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just came out.
You know what? I don't think we ever tried that we had seen back in the day when we were drinkers. Not that we were ever, crazy into drinking, but remember that watermelon beer, man. We saw it that one time.
Beer.
And I think it was now I'm not making a joke, but I think it was something with hooker in the name. It was like something hooker. Let me
Hooker TJ.
Hooker T. Washington.
You want that hooker watermelon, cuz? Yeah, watermelon is maybe I'm gonna have to bring some on the show because I don't
take a swig on it.
Yeah, never tried on these niggas. Watermelon is those things that you can only really put those in certain kind of products. I think.
Yeah,
more candy, like shit that's sweet, cotton candies.
Yeah, it's tough to make watermelon savory. As we were talking about before, about how they'll grill it and put feta cheese on it. It's honey. They're taking it there. But all we're saying is, welcome to episode 87 of the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast. Sometimes we get into the watermelon, we get into the pumpkin because we take it to the roots, and that's what it is, man. You take it to this is where this shit started. This is where this shit came from.
You know what I came about, niggas.
Like we said, episode 87 of Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast. Thank you for joining us. I am his, not your co-host, Lil Mattress, LILMATTRESS. Hit us up, watermelonversuspumpkin.com, watermelonvspumpkin.com. GBI Clothing is our sponsor. Use code Watermelon. What else would it be for 10% off? All the links are down below. Episode 87. 1987.
Jordy Nelson.
4 years old.
Ooh, that was my lucky number 7, nigga. Lucky number 7. I don't know what happened there. I was 7, and I probably remember. I remember. That's weird. I feel like I can remember up until about 5 or 6 years old. I can remember about close to that.
And then what happened?
And then,
and then I woke up right now. We're doing this episode.
And then I woke up and I skipped from 7 to fucking 38. And like, hey, guess what? Nigga, now I got a pastry hat on.
Yep.
Something went wrong in my life. All right, nigga, it depends. Keep downloading, nigga. Keep subscribing out there. We about 314 in. 314, I think I checked the other day, 314, Keep subscribing, man.
Yeah,
you know
please
what I mean?
hit like, share, and subscribe. Tell other people about it. The YouTube channel, man, we've definitely we've been growing.
First 1,000 subscribers we get, well, maybe we'll get like head on air live.
You never
I don't know. We'll see what we'll do to get you guys excited.
True.
Yo, they were getting head live on their podcast. That's a first.
And something that I was thinking about doing that we might start doing because we have the Instagram out there, Watermelon VS Pumpkin. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. We're thinking that we might try, but I don't know the specifications and I don't know everything, but maybe doing the first run of the live before we snip it all up and put it on YouTube on the Instagram live, but I'm not sure how long Instagram live goes for, but we'll be checking that out. And so if you're following us on the Watermelon versus Pumpkin Instagram, every now and then you might see it pop up with, "Oh my God, it's live!" And you might catch the show first, unedited, raw. If I slip and say the N-word, I have no chance to cut it out. Then come on, we walking a tightrope, dog.
You about to catch him in there, cuz.
Come on.
Oh, you Nigerian descendants. Yeah.
So it looks like, man, now this looks good. As I was Googling, New Belgium, special release, New Belgium Juicy. When you say and it's watermelon lime, I can fuck with that.
They put the lime, they put the little tart.
Yeah, man. New Belgium, heavy melon. So New Belgium definitely makes it, but I know that Hooker company, I'm not
a hooker
calling anybody out, but
there's a hooker making watermelon somewhere.
I definitely know that there was Hooker watermelon beer. So that's something that we should have been tried, and I don't think we're doing a proper service. Yeah, here we go.
Watermelon's getting left on the wayside.
It's, and it's
no surprise. Sorry, I just had to get my righteous shit out real quick.
And it's a company from Connecticut, Thomas Hooker Brewery, Watermelon Ale. Connecticut. It's from Connecticut.
Wow.
Man, this is in our own backyard.
There's a lot of Hooker schools out here too, and I think that's probably the same guy, Thomas Hooker. He might be somebody.
T-Hook.
He's somebody very detrimental to the state here, very influential.
Thomas Hooker Watermelon Ale. The score is listen. I'm over on beeradvocate.com. Thomas Hooker Watermelon Ale's got a score of 73. The style is a fruit and field beer. Fruit. Makes sense. Notes: the light and crisp ale has a hint of watermelon essence, resulting in a very refreshing, thirst-quenching brew.
So you're not getting no damn wine cooler. It's just a hint. You're not sipping on no damn.
Oh man, they got they got people giving review. Man, I know that beer is big, like the home brewing, but I didn't know that they had. Look at this. I give it a 4.13. Listen, first of all, calm the fuck down. You can go 4. You know what I mean? We don't have to do all that.
4.3.
Crisp ale with a definite punch of watermelon. Very refreshing. Pours like a light ale, which it is. Smells like a fresh cut up watermelon and tastes just like that. 4.13 out of 5.
Whoever gave that review, he said that line just like that. Which it is. He definitely said it that way when he fucking was writing it. Which it is. Wink, wink, wink.
This is amazing. All right, let's go with. Okay, now here's one that's. I guess this would be a bad review. 2.44 out of 5. Think Jolly Rancher watermelon. Pours like a pale yellow, and the smell is just full of sugar. The taste is very sugary, sweet, and did you say sugar enough?
Right.
Okay. The taste is very sugary, sweet, and a taste that is more than comparable to artificial watermelon. Well, they're not going to put a real fucking. Okay.
Yeah.
Not for me, but I can see how other people would enjoy it. Who are these other people? Who's other people?
Angry Orchard. You know what I mean? That's like tastes like apple juice. You know, they didn't put a hint of apple in it. No, it tastes like apple juice. Yeah. And you get fucked up off it. Same concept here.
I bet you it's probably like a
flow, man.
What's the Belgian beer with the orange?
Zima.
Oh my God, what is it? The white Belgian beer that people put an orange slice in it.
I know Shock Top's one. That's a white Belgian though, right?
I think it is, but it's the one that Blue Moon.
Yeah, I know it was a Moon.
I bet you it's like that, but with that Blue Moon is good, but it's like drinking a bottle of bread. That shit is thick.
I fuck with Blue Moon. I like Belgium. I like Belgian whites, man. Like the whole Shock Top and shit. Those are pretty good. I'm more into the pales a little bit, pale ales a little bit. I don't really like the darks like Guinness and shit. Like it's not really, I think it's for the Irishmen.
Not the flavor.
I'm part Greek, not Irish, so I didn't really catch that boat. It was an immigration joke.
But yeah, we are slacking on our actual watermelon and actual pumpkin
products,
accoutrements, if you will. So we're gonna have to get on that.
It's gonna hone in, and pumpkin season is gonna give us a lot.
Yeah,
it's gonna give us like shit that we're gonna see. Like, why do people sell that?
SJ, probably the whitest thing I ever did in my life is I grabbed a 6-pack of. This was a couple years ago. I grabbed a 6-pack of pumpkin beer from Trader Joe's. So that's probably the whitest thing I could have ever possibly done.
You guys want a pumpkin beer? You want a pump beer?
You pump beer? Yeah. And I remember it was pretty good, but I know that
got
people
that allspice and shit in it.
People go nuts for the pumpkin beer, and everything pumpkin's going to be coming down the lane.
So what is pumpkin spice? Because it's its own thing. Is it just like allspice and then what else? Nutmeg?
I'm not sure, but it tastes like it's supposed to. Cinnamon, of course. There's cinnamon in it,
Cinnamon. It's allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg. And I thought all that was in allspice anyways, so I'm confused.
Hey, Google. What spices are in pumpkin spice? can't say it out loud no more.
Crazy hoe.
Crazy how?
Crazy hizzy.
All right, so let's look up tasteofhome.com if we're going to go with a homemade pumpkin spice. Hey, 10 reviews and they're all 5 stars. Prep time, 5 minutes. It makes about 2.5 tablespoons.
Get
okay,
that.
so here we go. 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. 1 teaspoon of cloves. Half teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So there it is.
Yo,
and that's it.
You know what's fucking funny? Is we definitely made a pumpkin spice when we put our pumpkin spice latte together on the Just Bake channel, which you can get on the Just Bake channel. If you go to videos, we did a nice spoof on a pumpkin latte. I think.
Spoofy.
Yeah, and I think the main ingredient, because I remember buying the nutmeg and the shit just to have kind of in that flavor profile. Because I think when we made the fucking pumpkin pie poppers, that was the one. When we did the pumpkin pie poppers, we used nutmeg, cinnamon, and okay, so we niggas knew just without knowing. Just test it.
We knew without knowing. It's kind of like an instinct when you're born. You're just like, nah, I know what it is. Come on, man.
So let me. It's like going to my parents. I remember. I don't know why I have this memory of going to my parents and asking them a question about like something I had a school question that we were going to get like these special points in school if we got the right answer. And this is pre-internet and all that shit. You know what I mean? So I remember asking my parents what the capital of Connecticut was. I don't know, I probably was like 5 or 6, and that was our thing. So what's the capital of Connecticut? And then the stutters came out. Bridgeport. Nobody was, nah. So, Hartford.
Is it New Haven?
It was Hartford. No, they both agreed at the end. Yeah, Hartford. Yeah, it's Hartford. Yeah, I didn't believe them. You know what I mean? Went straight to school like, yeah, I'm not saying that. Right. They were lying. And then they said it like, fuck, my parents are right.
That's funny.
It's just unbelievable sometimes, man. It's all about the way you pitch what you pitch in, you know?
Certain generations will never know the pain of trying to look up something in an encyclopedia, and your family did not have enough money to buy all the encyclopedias. So maybe I need something under K, and no, we don't have the volume K, so I will just never know what I want to know.
Then they go, ask Joanne next door. She used to be a teacher.
It's funny, like that was it back in the day. It's everything, all knowledge was put into these books.
Right. So
A
you
through
think
Z
about
that you would have on the shelf, and they sold them at the grocery store. And if you didn't buy the entire volume, if it was, you only had, well, let's just buy A through B for right now. If you didn't have the other joints, or if you let somebody borrow K and they just never brought it back, any knowledge underneath K,
and it's crazy because people that read all those fucking volumes and just filled their brains up with what we'd call useless informations, they were the first fucking Wikipedias. You know what I mean? Like that guy that just knew a bunch of shit that you was like, that's just random nonsense.
You should be on Jeopardy.
Right. That guy. You should be with Trebek guy.
Over here.
But, it's that was the person that was your first internet person of, he had the information, just if he retained information like that. So somebody was, what if we had a machine that would be that guy?
Yep.
Things we find useless, but it would just with a click of a button,
everything just over there.
Right.
And now we have it all, and we're all really dumb because we know we have it all. So it doesn't,
we think we know everything, and it's just right. We don't have to learn anything, which is always interesting to me. I'd like to sit down with a couple of teachers just to hear curriculum. Well, my daughter's 10 years old, so she didn't really get into those higher grades where they have to make it a little more difficult for them for things they got to do as far as education wise. So now I'm just curious to know how they're mixing it up a certain way, because when we had to do things, they knew we had to go look these things up to find out the answer.
Yeah,
the whole thing with those book reports was never really as much as for us to fucking know the answer as we thought it was. It was just for us to kind of stay on task. You know what I mean? And do the work and show the body of work and be task friendly and handle and boom, boom, boom and knock it out. That responsibleness of, getting ready for the big world and working and shit, you know? So it's like, did you really give a fuck about, Joan of Arc? I don't know. Probably not. But, they made your ass fucking work.
Yeah.
But so I'm always curious. And now, like, when my daughter gets older and it comes to, like, book reports and shit, how hard do they have to make a book report? How do you make, you know what I mean? It's like, all they have to do is go online and just find information. And they don't even make them write anymore. So now they're clicking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you can't plagiarize. And like, how are you going to know? It's fucking over fucking how many websites?
Right.
You know what I mean? They got the same kind of information. Do you have a machine that filters out if it was plagiarized or not? It's like, it almost is easy to do shit like that, man. So I'm just curious of what are they doing to change up, And if you know, 203
594-6977. Hit up the hotline, call or text. And I could imagine nowadays it's got to be tough, especially you have a kid. My brother has kids, and I can't imagine being in school. I can't imagine if I was in school and had this fucking thing. Like if I had this, like
right. I mean, you can't blame the kids. I'd be doing the same shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd probably have been worse.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
It wouldn't have been great.
We're from the 90s knocking nigga out shit. You know what I mean? Like, now you give us these little things right here. Oh, everybody's on World Star. You better believe
there's
it.
so much, like, how people are now growing up with their entire life being recorded. I'm so, like, there's so many fucking mistakes I made and dumb shit. And imagine, like,
want to forget.
imagine, like, high school parties with everybody with recording everything. Like,
right.
Yo, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I know. It's like that happened, that got out, that leaked, and then that's when kids start fucking going crazy, killing each other, killing themselves.
Yeah.
It's almost a sense of, because there's a reason why the mind is, not ready at that age for certain kind of social shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think when everybody's trying to push to be at a certain level in life before their mind can catch up, it's gonna fuck them up, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get to a point where there's going to be politicians in the future where their entire life is going to be online. And so then how do you even pick a politician? Because now we're still in that weird space of like, we want a politician who, and that's the other thing too, like if you've actually lived a real life,
right,
you know that those people don't exist. The people of, nope, I have never tried drugs. I have never tried to, like, these people don't exist. I've never said a swear word. I never sped. I never went through a red light. Like, those people don't exist. So, like, then it's going to be weird when we get into the space of, yo, your entire life has been online from the day of, your mom was taking pictures of you and putting them online to then you grew up, got your own account, and then you pretty much snitched on yourself your entire life about all the dumb shit that you did. So then we're going to get into a space where there's going to be no politician that hasn't been, but there's, when he said something bad about Irish people, when he said something bad about Indians, and there's going to be,
there's going to be no way to hide anything.
Yeah, like if my dumb years were on the internet, fuck.
Right, that shit that could fucking stop you from getting a job down the line. You know what I mean? Of like, oh yeah, remember when you did that? Well, it doesn't go away.
Even the company that we work for, we just had our yearly meeting, and they were just like, if you talk shit about us online and we find out about it, you're getting fired. Right. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't say it to me. It was to everybody.
Right. It's like, no, you talk about the company, it's going down.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to understand that. I mean, if you work for me and I find out you're talking shit about me, I'd probably feel some kind of way.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think you want to work here anymore. You're all set. But I was just laughing, too, as far as, if you think about it, man, it's, how social media is going to, even how it is now. Like, Trump is going to be, he's the first trendsetter with that. I think it's going to follow suit with the upcomers, because, the older guys are going to be the younger guys that are getting older kind of deal. You know what I mean? So they're going to still part of that tech world. You know what I mean? So when they get to that level, it's going to be, because if you think about it, to me, what's the fucking presidency anyways? It's a fucking popularity contest.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now he's just another avenue of how can you be more popular nowadays? Oh, you go online. You go to social media. You become the cool guy. You know what I mean? You say all cool tweets. You know what I mean? Or tweets that you're speaking your mind, and people love you for it because he's an asshole, but he speaks his mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's like he's almost setting a wave of what presidency is going to shift to, as opposed to when it was like, we are very clean cut, and like you said, I don't smoke weed, and like, okay, you guys killed Clinton. He's like, all right, I got head, man. My wife don't give me head. What the fuck you know what I mean? Like,
right?
Still, Hillary she obviously, look at her. She got skinny lips, and she don't fucking, and she don't do this shit. She thinks it's nasty. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get some head. Monica's lips are a little fuller, and she was a thot. So,
Hey, Monica was kind of thick.
Yeah, so Bill's like, oh, yeah. Just like that, Monica.
No, man, it's going to be tough in the future, and I honestly can't wait to watch it go down and to talk about it right here on the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast.
I kind of want to be the old guy talking shit. I hope to be the old guy around, just like, oh, God damn it, I knew this was going to happen. I knew you motherfuckers can't even tie your shoe without an app.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get on some weird Black Mirror shit where, dude, even, man, it happened to me today because I got the Amazon Echo, I got the Alexa, and
Alexa.
And for a second, I thought that was it. And I actually just got another one because I want to put one in the kitchen. But today, I was listening to some songs while I was cooking. I was listening to through my Bluetooth speaker, not the Alexa thing, but through that. Bro, and I was kind of irritated that I had to go to my phone and press the fucking button. I'm not lying to you, brother. I'm not lying to you because now,
especially when you're cooking, man, if your hands is getting a little dirty, it's like, man, wipe off with the rag. All right, let me do that and hit the phone.
But I already know, man. It's gonna get crazy because now I got 2 lights in my room and I got a fan in my room that's connected to it. And I was also looking up because I got the switches that go in the wall, and then I was looking up. They actually have the light bulbs now,
right?
So where you could just put the light bulb in instead of you don't have to go through the electricity of the wall or nothing. Just
and that shit is all like to me, it's like it's gonna, like you said, when we're older, that's gonna be like as common as a light switch in your house. You know what I mean? Like it's your common everyday amenities for your house, man. It's that whole everything that's gonna be like, that's what they come with now.
Yep.
All houses come with fucking automatic. Turn the lights on.
You talk to everything. I know. Because now, like, I've only had it for like a month, and I am super used to it. You know what I mean? And even like the thing of like, I'm laying in bed, yo, Alexa, turn the fan on. Boom, fan goes on. And I think back where I'm like, I would have hated to have to get on my ass. It's kind of like, man, I'm old enough to where we had TVs without the channel changer. Right. And my dad's just like, go change the channel.
How was his remote?
Get up. Exactly. We used to be the remote. You know how like on the Xbox and on the Wii, like you are the remote with your body because they got the camera on you. Yep. No, we were the fucking remote.
Get your ass and go to the TV, click, 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 click. And then I remember they had the one thing where it got a little easier where they had the big box with the rows. Yeah. So now you can kind of perch your chair up and just kind of flick through. Then that remote control came out, boy.
Back when there were like 23 or 27 channels, then there was the box with 27 buttons on it. Where each one was a different button that you actually pressed.
Yeah, you was an OG if that shit was faded and you couldn't tell the channels. That's either you bought it from somebody off the street or you had it for a while. I think ours was off the street, so that's pretty much how my parents were. Oh yeah, we got it. Don't worry. The crackhead up the block, he sold it to us. $5, so don't worry, it's out the door.
Yep.
But it's gonna be interesting, man. I actually look forward to it because I think it's gonna be beneficial. They're gonna have things beneficial for like us elderly, you know what I mean? Like the things they try to get for the elderly now is great for some of the stuff they get to use.
Yep.
But like it's only technology is only going to enhance how do we take care of our elderly? How do we take care of the old? The medicine distribution or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm hoping that we live in the era where like a heart replacement is like a tonsil. Taking out your tonsils. I think it's gonna
what they call minimal invasive surgery. Just go in there, boop, boop, you'll be out. You'll be back and work tomorrow. Like, we solved cancer with a pill. Here, take that pill. The cancer's gone.
Take that.
It just disintegrates inside of me, or that's it?
I'm just gonna shit it out. That's it. Okay.
Look, it's a tumor.
Yo, and people will be talking online about like, oh man, just had that cancer. You know about those cancer shits, right? There'll be stand-up comedians like, when you shit out the cancer, but you don't really want to flush it.
But they be sitting there looking at you. You think you saw a little baby in there, but no, that's just your cancer shit.
That's just that cancer shit. You know about the cancer. This guy knows about the cancer shit. Like, oh my God.
Probably just took one before I got here now. Right? But I look forward to it. Hopefully the universe keeps me around a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Let a nigga breathe that. Want to roll around and whistle at nurses.
Let us know by chance. Hit the hotline if you are down with any of this shit. Are you accepting? Are you diving into the wave, man? 203-594-6977. Call or text and let us know because I'm telling you, man, I'm head first into it and I've completely accepted. Like, yo, if they're listening, okay. Yeah. If they're doing all that, okay, I'm all right with it. You know what I mean?
Unless I'm selling kilos of crack and cocaine and shit, then I ain't really worried about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what you want to look at my account? What you want to look at my credit score, nigga? It's in the 400s. You want to help me? I don't, you know what I mean? No, it's like, I'm sorry, it went up. It's in the 5 now. Yep. Like, okay, what else you want to know about? Shit, when I was arrested, when I was younger, like, what am I hiding? I don't have a bunch of fucking spy secrets. Like the Russians are watching and they're hacking. Shouldn't they be hacking people with more importance than me?
Right.
I don't have any information for you, Russia.
Exactly.
Please don't hack me. I got nothing.
Sorry, Russia. You're not gonna. You ain't gonna get much from me.
My little $600 in the bank right now is not what you want.
No.
You want trillions and billions. You got to get that elsewhere. Go. You know what I mean? Biden and them niggas.
That's funny shit. Hyping up the hackers. Like, no, you don't want this, dog. Let me tell you. You gonna want to aim bigger. You gonna aim higher. You gonna want shoot for the sky.
You don't want little barrel niggas, man. We barrel niggas, man. You don't want this bottom shit. A goddamn catfish, man. Bottom feeder.
Exactly.
Oh, go get the big fish, nigga. Jay-Z is available right now.
Mm-hmm. Jay-Z's the big one. How?
Woo! Did it segue into him? I don't know. Perhaps.
Man, I think about it often. I really do. And I just don't know how to craft the tweet where people would understand. But like, you know, how you don't see people in their normal lives. And even no matter how much of an open person you are, you're a different person around your significant other. Like,
right.
You act, and I don't mean you as in you, I mean you as in everybody. You act different around your spouse when it's just you and them than you would in front of everyone else. Whether it's cute voice, whether it's dumb shit, whether it's
I'm definitely around my boys like, baby, you want to cuddle?
Exactly.
I'll say that to my baby, but I ain't gonna be with my baby. Like you hang with all friends, baby. You want a drinky poo? You want cuddle? Like no, we don't do that shit.
And I just hope that Jay-Z does dumb shit with his wife. I do. Like, I hope that Beyonce is on her last fucking whip with him. I really do, man. I hope that Jay-Z does dumb shit.
B! With the fucking voice every time. What, Sean? Now he's Sean.
Right? It's like, what, Sean?
Picture
like,
Beyonce saying that.
I hope that they have that relationship where almost like she's almost done with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't hope that they break up. I'm not talking about that.
No,
I just
nobody
mean
wishes
that
bad on
level
a relationship, but
of
you know,
frustration where they've been together. It has to have been at least 10 fucking years now.
I feel like, I mean, they got 2 kids, 3 kids, 2 kids.
I think 3. Because I think they have
and Blue Ivy's like fucking almost 10.
Yeah, because there's her, and then I think they had twins as well.
Okay.
So.
Yep. So I mean, at that point, there's got to be some regular. You want to be like, feel like you can walk into their house and it's just like a regular old like spousal combat going on. Like you ain't shit. That's why you burning chicken and shit. You know, telling her pussy trash if you get that mad. I guess you ain't even all that.
Why you think I went to Becky with the good hair? Come on,
right? Come on. You don't even. Just because Beyonce that fine don't mean she know how to fuck.
True.
I don't know. Maybe she don't know how to give head.
It could be a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying?
You know, sometimes I think when those girls are that so pretty like that they, you know, they don't know how to get down and dirty. You know what I mean? They're used to being the princesses. You know what I mean? So unless they found that nigga's like, nah, you gonna do some things. You know what I mean? Like the guy who took J-Lo's virginity. I don't know. He's bragging right now.
Right. Hey, that dude that took Beyonce to the prom, because there was that one dude before. He's just got to be like,
I was finger popping her in the back of the limo. Like somebody has a wild story about your favorite celebrity. Mm-hmm. Before they were celebrities, man, they were doing wild shit in the streets. J-Lo was giving a nigga a head in the alleyway or something. You know what I mean? Like she gave a head in a project building in the Bronx, probably. You know what I mean?
Because what she was the when she was a dancer, when she was a dancer
fly girl.
When she was a fly girl, yeah.
See,
come on, man.
Right, when she was a fly girl, she probably topped off Damon Wayans and them niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like Keenan Ivory Wayans probably got some good cook. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, yeah, all right. What's your name, Jennifer? Oh, all right. Thanks, Jay.
I hope so, man, because there's those. It's interesting because those are the stories that we'll never hear about, like
the nigga that's telling them nobody believes him.
Yeah. But like that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, not to get into it all, but he's the one that had that fucking. They called it Lolita Island, and it was kind of a semi well-known thing of just like this dude just flies rich people to his island to fuck underage girls, and he's the one that like. He had a painting in his fucking mansion of Bill Clinton in a dress and heels, like hanging over a sofa, like in a really, really good painting. It wasn't like
some real like professional shit.
He's the one, and like now everything's coming out with the whole like, yes, Bill Clinton used Jeffrey Epstein's plane, just 26 times. He was not friends with the man. He didn't, and it was like, oh my god,
scared him out
like that. So there's like the stories that start to leak, and he's the one who, quote, committed suicide because his trial was coming up, and they were just like,
he ain't gonna do that to me.
You ain't gonna exactly. You ain't making it to trial, dog.
Yeah, right. It ain't gonna happen.
too many rich people. But it's funny those stories that you think about. Where it's like, damn, man,
shit like that exists. Because I know the lady that I knew, her son was studying abroad in Africa, and. He had came back with an African student or whatever, but when he was over there, he was doing a study over there about these guys that are called the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And it's a place, it's like a secluded island or whatever, and what it is these rich people, majority rich, like white women, they go and they buy the bucks, they call them. Like they buy these guys because they were more like they were known for being well endowed.
Yeah.
Big, you know what I mean? Big down there. So it was like they wanted to go and, they were like perfect specimen. Not only big, they were like tall, almost like where our athletes probably came from.
Yeah.
Like your common African American athlete, his lineage were from guys like this. You know what I mean? People like this from that tribe or whatever. You know what I mean? And these rich older women, you know,
went to the roots.
They would go there and they would pay for it. So I mean, they ain't no different than Bobby Kraft, but yet, you know.
Yeah.
It's different if the ladies pay for it. I don't know. Does that work that way?
Man, that's something that is such a victimless crime. Besides if they're, you know, somebody's being forced into
sex slavery or something.
Yeah, somebody's being forced into it. But I feel like it would reverse all that shit if people would just, you know,
right.
get
I know.
into it.
You think about it, it's like, I'm stopping you from doing what I say is wrong. I know you're doing it, and it's your body, and you can do what you want. But I'm telling you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait, look, she needs money, he needs pussy, and they made an exchange, and
that was it.
He smiled, and she smiled while she cashed her money. I don't,
right?
You know what I mean? Yes, she's hurting inside. I know, probably she feels like shit at some point, but the way to get rid of that is to spend the money. You know, and it's like, hey, you know. If I was rock bottom and I had some women that had to pay for it, I'd sell my ass too. You know,
right?
We don't have that opportunity as men. You know, like
no.
Not some guys do. I mean, you got to have like a certain whatever physique, but there are women that are prostitutes that are less than stellar. You know, and they get money.
Less than stellar toots.
You know, and they're fucking getting money out there. Like, you know, to be a gigolo, you got to have something going on. You
Dude, Twitter is wild, man. Twitter is crazy with the shit that I see on Twitter of every single girl has an OnlyFans account. Every single girl has a, you know, just.
Oh, they love it.
You would think like when we were coming up back in the day, it seemed like, all right, yeah, there's prostitutes, yeah, there's porn stuff, but now it's like, yo, people have a 9 to 5, then they come home and they have their own, you know, little fan base as well. It's fucking wild.
Oh, everybody's an all-star, man. Everybody's a celebrity. Those IG girls, man, they fucking get all kinds of deals thrown at them just for fucking showing their ass and body off. So, I mean, it's like, can you knock the game or it's the hustle? Nah, man, it's, you know, find your shit. If that's not your shit, then don't be mad at it because they doing it. It's not for you. Not everything is for everybody, man. What the fuck? I think I've said that in the past. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different, yeah. Boy!
You know what I mean? So if you want to sell your ass, it's your ass. Do what you want with it.
And somebody one day is going to come along because after, it's got to come on the tail of marijuana, man. After marijuana is fully legal, there's going to have to be like, go ahead and sell your pussy too. Well, come on, let's just get it all out there.
At some point, somebody will be like, are we really? I mean, at this point, because it is still it is the unlegal thing that, you know, happens in Vegas. Yeah, they have these big things. You're not shutting shit down. Back page shit is well alive. Red light districts are well alive. You know what I mean? I mean, they're running around the streets. They got, you know, all kinds of escort services.
Hitting out like what?
Yeah, so it's like you're allowing it in places, but to the masses, and that's all going to change. That's generation, man. It's the generation of people that are running the country now. Are in the past years are people that were born in the fucking 50s, man, the 60s. They were raised by people that were real refined. You know what I mean? That was their way of thinking of things. Everything's refined. Everything's, women wear dress. You show a kneecap, you're not gonna make it out the house. You know what I mean? You know, we're getting into the era like us and people above us that are, you know, maybe 10 years older than us, the guys that are like mid 40s to 50. They're from that 80s era, man. They're from that fucking pop electronic and freedom shit, and you know, their outlook on even sex and shit is totally different. Now these guys are gonna become politicians. It's not gonna be the same ball game, I don't think. You know.
Yeah. The old gatekeepers are gonna eventually, you know, pass away, and things I think are gonna get
drop
looser.
Your keys on the desk, nigga, and leave.
Truth.
You know, but you know, it's all love in the big pond, nigga.
And if you got opinions, if you got comments, if you got questions, if you're just like, what do you think you guys talking about? Hit us up, 203-594-6977. Call or text. You get the machine. And, you know, leave that message and let us know how you fucking feel about it on episode 87 of the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast. Another thing in brand new news, seems like Kaepernick, he's out there again. Because Kaepernick has captured the hearts and minds of the people better than anybody else without ever fucking talking. You never hear, and then Cap said, he doesn't fucking. Colin Kaepernick is like Batman. Like the motherfucker, like barely ever talks.
He stays as Bruce at all times.
Yeah.
We never see Batman.
Bruce Kaepernick.
Bruce Cap is just on the scene, but he's not on the scene. You know, it was a thing. You know, as you know, those that know the story, and you know, Kaepernick took a knee 2 years ago now. For it was his silent protest, 2 or 3, yeah, for his silent protest against social injustice in the country. After you see a lot of the police brutality incidents and stuff like that, you know, so he decided to use his platform to take a knee and say, well, this is my protest, you know, and it's like, you know, and it always went down the line. It's like, was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Why do you have to do it at the NFL? Why you can do it anywhere else?
Yep.
You know, and it's always like I get both sides of it, you know, and I get it too because like, not for nothing, athletes been doing that shit for, you know, for centuries now. You know what I mean? Excuse me, decades. I don't know about centuries, but for decades now, they've been doing the shit as far as, you know, using those platforms to do something. You go back to the Olympics, you know what I mean, when they did the black glove, and I mean there was a lot of social injustice going on. You know what I mean? That was some real shit that was going on too. Not to say this is not real, but it's not easily identifiable as that was then. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers hanging from trees and shit like that. Like that shit was real. People were doing that shit. This is almost like you gotta TD. It's almost like it's not in your face, but you kind of feel like it might be, so you gotta you feel like you got enough to say it is. You
well,
know
I think
what I mean?
a lot about that is the news cycles of like there's so much going on all the time, and with our phones and things of that nature, we're so bombarded with all the news. Back in the day, there was the news that you watch.
Right.
I can't tell you what. I mean, obviously, I know CNN, NBC, Fox News, all this other stuff. But then there's Sky News, there's the BBC, there's so many fucking news sources nowadays that it's gotten so crazy that. How people, I remember the term alternative facts came out, and at first it sounds dumb, but then you're like, no, whatever you believe in, you can find a news channel to watch that pretty much agrees with you and gives you all the information that you like. It's not it's not necessarily that you get the facts.
It's feeding your like-mindedness. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I think like this, and this is how I feel. Oh my God, his guy too. Yeah, I know, he's right. See, I'm right because he's right.
And now what happens is me and you could watch the news at night, but we could watch different news at night and come away with different stories and be like, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right.
It's funny
when you heard just different shit. That's all it was.
About the same story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same story, two different perspectives, and now you got like, no, you didn't hear it the right way.
Yeah,
no, I heard it the way I heard it. No, you heard it the way you heard it. You know, it is, man. At some point, you're right. You know, is it too much information for certain people? I think if you don't have the mental capacity to kind of digest, then maybe it is. You know.
Yeah, I think it's just too much info about like, and. Now we have so much info is that whatever you want to look up, you could look up for the rest of your life. Like now, if you want to look up, do you know how many fucking shootings go that just aren't on the news? You know what I'm saying? Like when there were those 2 big shootings at the festivals and at the, I don't want to say cookout, but at the like fairs. And then same thing in Chicago that same weekend. It was like even more people were killed at one time during a drive-by, but it didn't make the news because it wasn't, you know, such a sensational story. But it's one of those things where if all you concentrate on is people getting shot, every day you'd be like, I'm never leaving my fucking house because I'm going to get shot.
I think because it was shit like that, well, like the neighborhood shootings and the shit like that's been going on, people have accepted it. You know what I mean? They almost accepted it for that's what it is, and nobody blinks an eye about it. It almost like it's sad, but it's like, this shit that goes on now with these mass shootings, it might get to that. It might get to that point where it's just like, all right, another one. You know what I mean? It's like nobody's rallying, nobody's doing anything anymore because it's so a part of acceptance and part of the culture. You know, just like in fucking the Middle East, man, these guys go to supermarkets, they're blown up all the time.
Yeah. They
don't protest and do all that. They just accepted it that that's part of our life.
Yeah, that's part of their life.
Day, you know what I mean?
And I'm telling you, like from not being an asshole standpoint, but I'm saying like looking as like a third party outside of myself, when I see, and it could be because I don't have kids or it could be just because it happens so much, when I see a school shooting, literally nothing in my body does anything. Like it's literally like I was just like, yeah, and the walls blew and okay, there was no school shooting. Like, and it's not even like worried about anything because it happens so often that your body gets used to it. Where you're just like, yeah, that's
like,
that
this
happens.
Nigga heard that shit didn't budge, but then he gonna cry on Pocahontas. But it becomes that numbness almost like, and it's almost scary, man, because I think that's why that's why a lot of these shootings in the kids or whatever, the people that do this is they've almost developed that numbness to almost the fabric of life, and like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'll kill all you motherfuckers and won't even blink an eye.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like it's nothing to me. I'd rather have the fame of me doing that than you even having another breath of air. And that's like that's insane to me, man.
And it's interesting too because now they're the tactic a lot of the times is don't share a picture of the shooter, don't say the name of the shooter, don't do anything like that. But then I wonder if that's also like feeding into that none of this matters, because you don't get enough information to give a fuck about it.
Right.
Besides, like, okay, 12 people just got shot over there during the garlic fair. But you don't hear the name of the shooter. You don't see the shooter. You don't. So it almost becomes not real because like you don't get enough info.
Right. You're not.
But then on the other tip,
they're
just like
visuals of the people's faces or that mug shot that always fucking
exactly
looks
could
the
haunt
same.
you.
It looks every time that guy looks the same. No matter if it's a different person, there's a certain fucking look with every one of those people. I don't know if it's because they're busted now they're in jail or something, or that picture. I feel like they almost like dig for those pictures. You know what I mean? Like if they had a guy that's like, you know, and the picture's not like a jail picture because he committed suicide or got killed. They like, look, we need to find. Look, no, he's smiling there. No,
exactly.
No, can't use that one. Yep,
we
there
need that
we go.
Weird pilled out, like looks like he hasn't showered in 4 days, greasy hair,
big 8-ball eyes and shit. Like that's the pick. Yep. See here with feet.
And you know what's crazy too with some of the shootings? Like I remember the dude that did the shooting during the Batman movie in the movie theater.
Yep.
Somehow it was like he went to jail and then like. How do you have him not under enough fucking supervision to where like he dyed his hair in jail,
right?
And then like came back and we were like, wait, he went in a brunette and then he came to jail with like bright orange hair and you're just like, it came to the
that ain't
court with bright orange hair. And it's
that
like,
ain't nothing but a Kool-Aid pack, man.
Yeah.
He probably put them on the lips too. Goddamn Kool-Aid pack, and it washed out. I'm sure, but he wanted to look good for court.
But that was always the wild shit where I'm like, and now he looks even crazier, and it almost seems like.
But you know what's crazy? Because even
seems like a movie.
That kid that did that, I think he's alive, right? They called him alive in Texas, I think, with the Walmart, the last one. I want to say.
I think the Walmart one, yes. The nightclub one got killed.
He got killed, right. So the Walmart one, so now it's like, now he got caught. And, you know, when they do this thing and they catch these guys, and you notice every one of them that been caught, that's it. There's no, like, interview. There's no, like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're going to put it out 10 years from now. But then they know that by doing that, you becomes a martyr, you know what I mean? And then people follow, like Charles Manson, you know what I mean? Almost at Maryland. I watched myself this week.
Well, I think it is the weird dichotomy of we don't give him any fame because then we don't want the copycats from the fame. But then, like, if we don't know who the person was, then it almost doesn't connect that it actually happened.
There was a real person and like, oh
like
my
same
God.
shit. Like, what about because there's both sides of it, and I understand both sides of it. Like, those officers didn't have no fucking cameras on themselves. They didn't have the body cam because, like, show that body cam footage of taking him down and all that other stuff. Like,
right.
But then
they won't do that. Too
they
gory.
don't do that because the next guy that wants to shoot up the thing is like, yeah, man, that's gonna be me next time. But then it almost like same, it's too gory. Like the football player that just died in the motorcycle accident. They're like, yeah, we have footage of the whole thing, but it's too we can't show it because it's just too gross. But then it's almost like show it, and then so people are like, holy fuck, I need to wear a helmet. Holy shit, I'm not gonna drive, after a couple of drinks going 100.
That's why I think Faces of Death got me alive to this day.
Yeah.
You see some of them things, man, when they show you, back then the Faces of Death were like a VHS series of
see, now in a VHS is
videotapes back then, a series of like what people would go to for WikiLeaks or something.
Yeah.
Where you get those real live crazy footage of people like cutting people's heads off and shit like that, killing themselves, shooting themselves. That shit was out way back in the 90s, early mid 90s. You know what I mean? So it really was one of those. I remember watching those shits, being like, holy shit.
I remember
that's what a body looks like after an accident. You know what I mean?
Me and my boy Mike, we would get those for sleepovers, and we would watch that shit at like 1 a.m. And then I'm like, think as a grown up now, what the fuck were we doing? But I think you're right to where it kind of helped. Like, I remember they had the Russian mob dudes who would they packed this guy with ice. Like, they packed his arms up in a cross position with ice for whatever, how many hours, and then fucking came out and poured boiling water, and his fucking arms fell off. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
On some real torture.
And that was on
shit.
one of those? Wow.
That was on one of those.
Oh, man, I didn't see that one. I seen the one where the guy, it was in a little village somewhere in like, around Malaysia, Indonesia area. And the guy.
There was always wild shit in those.
The guy, it was a little island, and the guy fucking raped a little girl on the island, and they beat the shit out of him, rightfully so. And while he was face all fucked up, bleeding, eye hanging and shit, they tied him to a tree while he was still alive and fucking set him on fire alive.
Yeah.
And they showed it, man, in the way that fucking, His that last scream, he tried to get out, and it was like it was very faint, like almost that fire just took it so quick, man, because they doused his ass, so that shit went quick, and the way his skin just fucking peeled. I remember that visually, like, I hope I never die that way,
right?
I mean, I would never do that to get that, but I mean, like, if I ever like got burnt alive some crazy ass way, where most people, I guess, in house fires, it's usually the smoke that kills you, anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that shit definitely had some scared straight shit in me. I don't know. It's like,
hell yeah.
I don't know. This is crazy. I don't know. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be that like that. I don't want that to happen. You know.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. Cause I think it could help, but then I understand on the other thing too. It could be traumatic for people, and that's a big thing nowadays.
Inspire somebody to be that guy to fucking go kill somebody, or I want to do that.
Or there's even the psychos that is like, yo, I want to die like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people want that fucking magnificent death. It's that whole like. I watched the movie Scarface, and I'm just like, he's fucking stupid. Like, I don't want, like, man, get to that point and then cruise.
Right.
Like, I watched 50 Cent's movie where 50 Cent sells drugs and does all this other shit, man. He does his thing and he banks his money, and then he takes $50,000 and goes and buys a car. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's just part of the program. That's part of the society flow of you saying, yeah, I gotta fix up with the Joneses. I want attention. I want people to look at me. So I need to buy the things that people would like to look at.
Yep.
And that's why you're doing it for people. You're not doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's where I feel like Disturbed and that's just ego shit. But then I feel like there's Disturbed and other cycles. It's copycat murders. It's people that want to take, you know how many people are just like, oh, those OJ murders, I did it, because then they think they're gonna get their little name out there and all that other shit.
Right.
So
I was actually the one that was. God, after 25 years, we have the actual OJ Simpson murder confession.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then here comes little Tyrone, like, yeah, man, it was
it was me.
OJ gave me a couple stacks. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing. It was nothing. Why did you wait so long? I mean, we were scared. It took me 35 years. We were scared. We know OJ's a big dude. He's still very powerful, connected.
But it's wild, and how quick the media moves nowadays is that shit would get 10 seconds of attention.
Right, and it's funny because just to tap into, because it was weird. I don't know. This is a side note, but have you been seeing OJ on YouTube lately?
Because he's got a Twitter now.
Yeah,
he's wild.
Yeah, he's wild. I'm like, OJ, what he? And he's like, I think it's
wild.
funny because I think he's trying to get a job with a sports network. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because a lot of the things I'm seeing, he's doing his analyst shit for football players, and things like
he's
this.
talking about who to take for your fantasy team.
Yeah.
He's talking about all that shit. And the funny part is like, there's the big fucking elephant in the room every time. And there's, of course, like, most people that you're going to meet in your life are insanely unfunny. But there's like people under every single post that he makes where I'm assuming he doesn't look at any of the comments, because he would go nuts.
Yeah,
but every single one is just like, killer take, OJ. You know what I mean? Slices and cut and murder, and man, you murdered it. All that, like,
you murdered it. Oh, man.
Like, you murdered it. You're used to that, right?
Yeah,
All
stab
these.
hole.
Oh my god, dude! It's so much of.
Everybody
I understand
wants to be,
but that's the thing about OJ, where you can tell that's what he wants again. He just wants that little bit of fame, because that's what, even if you watched that docuseries that Cuba Gooding was in, at the end of it, OJ was so obviously he was happy to be out of jail, but he was so happy to just he had a party again, and he had people around him like rocking out with him. And that's when you see Robert Kardashian
like
in that.
Years?
No, this was the beginning trial.
Oh, okay,
that shit. When he got off the murder shit.
Got you.
That's when then he's back in the party hanging out, and you could tell it was that's what he loved, was just that being famous and being loved like that. And that's when Robert Kardashian sees it, and he's just like, oh shit, he did it, And then like that's when the thing ends. But you could tell OJ, he's out with that now, where he's like, everyone forgot, right? Okay,
we're gonna move by that. OJ, people are around. There are people still disgusted with you, brother.
Yeah,
and I'm not disgusted with you, because it's an imperfect judicial system we have. I mean, if you got to tackle OJ's case, you got to open up a whole bunch of them. Yep. You know what I mean? There's a lot of unsolved mysteries or people that got away with shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a
lot of people got away.
You got to tap into everything, man. I get it because of his celebrity status, but I mean, you got a bunch of people that were celebrities.
And that was such a microcosm of, it was its own world, where the media really took that shit away, to where it didn't even, the case ended up not even being about if OJ did or not. It was so fucking nuts.
It was about gloves and
yeah, man. It
neighbors.
It got so nuts to where it was kind of like Hillary Clinton with the election, to where it was like, she got it in the bag, and then it was what? Plus, that was the birth of reality television, because that was the first thing that was, people were chasing down. People were in the streets, man. They saw it on TV and ran out of their house to go try to be a part of it on the streets.
Because was out already, so they had to show Cops. So that was your first kind of really boom boom. But then you took some real shit, and it's like, well, Cops was real, right? Yeah, but now we're talking about celebrity shit. Now this is real. You know what I mean? This is like some big LAPD. This is taking over Channel 8 News and shit. You know what I mean? This is the big story. And then everybody became ready for it. I think the Real World came out after that.
And the funniest part that a lot of people, they might know, they might not know, when Roddy Piper fought Goldust during WrestleMania 12, they did a Hollywood backlot brawl, and they used footage from the OJ chase during that shit, because during one point, Goldust hops in the white Bronco and fucking zooms off, and then they have the footage of the Bronco being chased, and it's like, this looks familiar, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like little tongue-in-cheek shit. Oh man, that shit was amazing. Great. But it became like a cultural thing, and then it became a joke, and so many people have. Well, white people been getting away with this shit for years.
Right. It became that, and then it became like, man, OJ, man, we ain't gonna admit that he did this. The black. We ain't admit he did this shit.
Some famous comic I remember, he's like, my blackness will not allow me to.
Oh, who did that? That was Chappelle. Chappelle stand up. That was good. He said, my blackness will not allow, because they were pretending he was on a stand. Yeah. And he was like, he was asking about something, and he's like, oh, Beretta did that shit. The guy that played Beretta, killing his wife. He was like, oh, Beretta did that shit. And they said, how about O.J. Simpson? He goes, my blackness would not allow me to answer that question.
Yeah, but it's wild to watch.
Everybody knows that it was too much on him for it not to be.
Yeah,
but then that's one for the culture, the community. Black people want to go, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, we got one.
But then at the end of the day, it's like, stop it too. I mean, somebody fucking got killed, bro. Let's keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure Nicole didn't have slaves in her basement and was firsthand in a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Or maybe she was. I don't know.
Who knows? But it was some crazy shit, man. It's an amazing thing to live through.
Yeah, we're here. We're living it, man.
We doing it on episode 87 of the Watermelon vs. Pumpkin podcast. And however we got there, I don't know, but it started with Colin Kaepernick and how we were talking about social injustices. And so now it's interesting because there's a whole process that has started, and so far, it's words and it's press conferences with no real concrete plan that's been put out there, where Jay-Z has now partnered with the NFL, and I don't even know if they've said what they're actually going to do.
They just said entertainment reasons. So he's going to bring music together.
To help the disenfranchised inner city youth. I don't even know if they went that far.
I don't know.
Was a wild thing.
I don't know how music is going to intertwine. It's like, are you going to give out like free concerts? That's not going to really help. I mean, that's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? What is if you start trickling money down into some of these communities and help out with certain kind of programs, after school programs, camps, and shit like that are, things that thrive in maybe a upper echelon of a suburban neighborhood, man. You know what I mean? Like things that thrive in those neighborhoods that are available for the kids that live there.
Each and every podcast, I will be drawing a load of clothing, and the alarm will go off.
So get used to it, niggas.
Get used to it.
But if they kind of take those kind of things, because now there's opportunity, because, not for nothing, people could give a lot of shit and say, oh, da. But like even with Yale, people get a lot of shit that, guys that leave Yale, they're millionaires. They become millionaires in life, and they get these really good jobs and this and this and that. But you know what a lot of the Yaleys do? They come back and they put money back into Yale. A lot of alumni, they donate. You know what I mean? They're putting
build another wing.
Right, you're putting back into the well. So for every motherfucker, to me, in my eyes, every person that done came from the hood, done came from these neighborhoods where they're at, and you now have money, I think it's almost certain that it's your fucking responsibility to go back there and do something. So if you're not, just shame on you. You shouldn't say a fucking word, man. Take your money and run to the mountains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The only thing I can say to that I just thought of, it's tough because Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
He was trying, and the hood swallowed him up, which is another tough thing to where. So on another point, I kind of do understand the people that are just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here because of jealousy, because of people that
because
envy
of certain types of mentalities in certain neighborhoods, in the neighborhood of that, man, you'll have people that just gonna hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not so much, it's rich people usually hate on other rich people because they got something they want,
Yeah.
And they're not gonna kill them to get it. They're gonna like, well, I'm gonna work twice as hard to get that. I'm gonna get one better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you gotta have that approach. You know what I mean? If it's like, I don't hate on you, I'm happy for you. I gotta figure out how the fuck I gotta do what I gotta do to get close to where you at.
Yeah.
I mean, if you kind of keep that mentality, man, it'll keep you afloat. But, when you're, and I live in a poverty-stricken neighborhood too, and when you're in those kind of neighborhoods, man, I just think some people don't have the mental capacity to take certain things, man. Mm-hmm. And whether they're poor or rich, if you take that mentality and not being able to handle certain things, give that guy, make him rich, he might fucking wild the buck out. First time he loses something, he might kill everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't have the mental strength to kind of to deal, and get through shit. But I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, if he does do a lot of charitable events, and he's like, maybe he does these shows that he takes the proceeds from the shows and puts them all into the community somehow.
Yeah,
that's the only I could think of. And with the NFL paired up,
but that's so. Then what we just said, because this is the interesting thing is that they came out with the press conference saying that Jay-Z has partnered with the NFL to make a positive change, but then we don't know with what, and even how you're just saying there, which by no means would I ever be against that idea of, but then, so what does the NFL have to do with that? That's what I don't understand. Is it like?
I think it's just being, if they partner up with them, now you're getting these big moguls of athletes and entertainers coming together and bringing more people out to raise more money. That's the only I could think. You know what I mean? They're gonna they bring out more funds by being the face. Just like how a club sells the fuck out for Rick Ross doing a walkthrough. Mm-hmm. Like the dude just got fucking $20,000 to walk through the club and wave to people. You know what I mean? He probably stays there for a half hour, but they know by putting Rick Ross is going to be in the club tonight. You know what I mean? They're going to fucking fly through that door just for people to be in there and be around it. You know what I mean?
Because celebrity,
yeah, because celebrity status is so much more famous than like politicians, because politicians, like I said before, they were the celebrities at their time. You know what I mean? You had your entertainers, but the most popular people at some point in time, way in the past, were always the highest celebrities. Highest politicians. Now it's like your entertainers and these people that are now gaining money. They almost become more relatable to your everyday folks. Because they might come from that same kind of environments and shit.
Yep.
But, I just think it's got to be more open up of. You got to give a shit, and give a shit to me for all those people out there, social injustice, people that are fighting the fight, my brown warriors. If you're going to fight it all the way. You know what I mean? That my whole thing is fight on every angle. Don't just use police brutality as the only thing that's wrong with the community. Because if we out there fucking killing each other in like Chicago and shit, then it's something bigger than just blaming police. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things that I do like that Jay-Z had said, which he's not shitting on Cap, but he's also like, well, okay, we've knelt. Now we actually have to do something. And even though in the press conference, everybody danced around questions and nobody actually said, hey, man, and we're going to fill in the blank.
Right.
It was all, yo, it's time for some action. Shout out to Redman. And the problem, I think, was that I almost think they might have done the press conference too early because they came out with like, all right, y'all, we about to do something. And then it was like, okay, that was the end of the sentence. That was the end of the conversation. That was the end of the,
and
shit, okay. Yeah. So it was almost like, why'd you come out just to say we're going to do something? It would almost been better if you're just like, hey, we're going to do something and we're going to start with blank. Even just something small.
Or even if they just kind of just made a statement that, hey, we joined together and then we're working on some things. Instead of having the big press conference in the media. You know what I mean? Instead of doing all that, you could have just did a little, hey, they put out. Because, people put out that they're going to do stuff without actually having to, get on the interview. And this is what we're going to do. Just, hey, listen, Rock Nation paired up with the NFL. They want to work on some things towards social injustice, and then not be the big interview, and then have Charlamagne the God. I don't even know why he was even really there. I don't know if he's part of a panel or something, but it's like,
it seemed like there was definitely the Rainbow Coalition there of just like, I swear we didn't watch the entire press conference, but I saw every single race and every single fucking.
It's like the Indian guy in the back, like, oh, he's here too. Okay.
It really was though. They were just like, we're not going to let anybody say anything that nobody was represented. Everyone was represented. And which hopefully they will come out and clarify, but I just didn't get the vibe of what it was actually going to be. And anytime anybody asked a question about it, everybody, what was his name? Roger Goodall?
Yeah, Goodell.
Goodell
Yep.
and Jay-Z, they both kind of jumped around like, well, yeah, it's going to be good.
Right.
Well, it was just
I feel like Jay jumped around because that question did come out when he said, well, what changed in you when you know.
Because he rapped about like,
right.
I don't need the NFL.
I don't need me. Yeah. And, I mean, he kind of worded it in a way where, you know, it made sense where he's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm not going to do anything to, like, he's not stupid. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, that could hurt my brand. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like in the sense of in the height of things. You got to remember that came in the height of things too. So he's like, I could probably hurt my brand with my culture and my background, who supported me this whole fucking way through. Mm-hmm. Now, if I kind of take this, then you know my backyard is gonna look at me differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now he didn't do that. So now he's taking a leaf of like, you know what? I'm gonna try to come together and I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I felt that way. Look, I done showed you I felt the way, and I done shut it down and then talk shit about it. But now I maybe rethought about it. Maybe there's something I could do. Yeah. You know, I hope that's it. I know some people say, oh, it's just about money, but then it's like, you know, he already got money. I don't know. You know what I mean? They say, well, the rich always just want to get more rich. Yeah, but he could do other things to generate money instead of going at the NFL. You know what I mean? It's like he can do anything else to coincide with somebody else or join up or team forces with somebody to generate money. That's he could do it with the NBA. He already is. You know what I mean? Like he's part owner of the NBA. He could do something like that, and there won't be anything to it. You know, but you know, they just got to give shit because celebrity status, man, and you know that's Jay. It's good things, it's weird things, but it's things.
It's things, it's stuff. And and now they're saying that Cap isn't big on it. Cap's girlfriend came out.
Spoke for him.
And
got your bitch talking for you, nigga?
She was, man. She came out on some just like, this isn't what we wanted. This wasn't the plan. But
so
then,
spokeswoman.
How me and you were talking about before. Yo, I never hear Cap say anything. All I hear is like, no, this is what he... It's almost like, Cap is like the fucking Bible, where everyone has their own fucking like, no, this is what he meant, and this is what he wants, and this is what he wants.
He's behind closed glass.
Cap is still here.
Right.
Like,
he's not dead.
I swear. And this is my thing, too, where... How I feel Jay-Z on this, where I don't know what he's trying to do, but I feel him in trying to actually do something because... Right. I'm gonna like
Colin should have had this. Colin should have had. He should have had this kind of press conference. What Jay's doing is something Colin Cotter should have tried to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, hey, listen, I'm upset, and this is with the NFL. How about we? You know what I mean. But they definitely. I think it wouldn't work. It didn't work as much because of when Colin was doing that. That NFL was hearing a lot of shit. So at that point, they were upset. So then they're like, we don't fuck with you. So even if he tried to come up with that, at first, no. But eventually, he probably should have. Send out, say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to shut the NFL down. I worked my whole life to get the NFL, and I made a lot of fucking money being there. You know what I mean? So you can't hate the NFL that much, Cap. You know what I mean? That shit.
Well, and it was weird how it got conflated with Cap didn't kneel because he didn't like the NFL. Cap knelt because of social injustice and police violence. Right. And then it turned into, you as a black ball.
He became unpatriotic. It became like this whole other thing, and it's like. He never really said the NFL's not doing a good job at doing for social injustice.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He just said, no, this is for like the social injustice. I'm showing you that I'm taking a knee right now because of social injustice that's happening in our country.
Yep.
And that's all the fuck it was. It wasn't like, fuck the NFL. He did it. Why he do that? Because that's his platform.
Yeah.
If you're a comedian, you're going to do it in a stand-up routine.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it seems to where the whole shit is flipped now onto, well, now he doesn't like the NFL because the NFL, quote, blackballed him when... There's been even a Roger Goodell, you said?
Goodell, yeah.
He brought up a couple of instances where he was like, no, people were interested in him, and then he did some wild shit. Or even Stephen A. Smith was talking about it.
Stephen A. Smith did,
They were interested in until he boom. And it wasn't, and none of the examples were because he knelt. There was none of it. And even how we had talked about before, Denver offered him a contract. It was less money than he wanted, and then they were just like, well, sorry, that's what we offered you. Like, he
had offers. He wasn't completely blackballed, but you got to remember a lot of teams.
He might have been lowballed,
right? But you got to understand that too, man. In a sense, too, it's like, okay, I own a company. You know what I'm saying? And your brand is your company, man, and you're trying to protect it. So if there's any kind of controversy that's gonna bring turmoil, and you know what I mean, you don't want to be a part of it.
Signing him is going to be a headache, regardless if you think he's 1,000% right. It's going to take away from
because it's not going to be focused on the team. It's going to turn into the Kaepernick show, and it's going to be about him and his every post game.
Did he kneel this time?
Is he kneeling? His every move, it becomes a distraction. Teams are like the NFL. These guys are football players, man. They're about winning games. They want to win a fucking Super Bowl. Yep. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and it's like that's what. And I get when people come at Cap. You're a football player, and I get it. If you want to do that shit, take it away from the NFL. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I understand that when they say that because it's like, yeah, Cap, you could have just went and gone fight the fight. Yep. You know what I mean? And say I'm an NFL player and I'm doing some crazy shit out here in the streets because I'm tired of social justice. He could have went. He could have went fucking chained himself to the damn city hall in that city where that boy was shot at. You know what I mean?
He could have chained himself to the goalpost.
You know what I mean? He could have chained himself into like no justice, no peace.
Yeah.
Outside of football, and the people are like, oh shit, here's an NFL player that's doing some off the field shit. That he's probably going to lose his position still, but it's not on that stage at that time. You know, he chose to do it, but he's out there at the city hall with the people in that city. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit that you should be doing. I think that would have been more of an impactful thing of like, oh, shit. When have you ever seen, like, even all these with Trayvon Martin's like, celebrities and shit, they'll come forward after. But I haven't yet to see footage besides a Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton being down there in there, the masses with the people rallying with them. You know what I mean? Like,
true. It's a rare thing to see.
Right. You know, so if like you want to really make an impact, go down there with the people, man, that are actually protesting. And they're like, holy shit, Cap, the millionaire, who's like an NFL star, probably jeopardizing some fucking sponsors right now, is down here with us, man.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, he did it on the NFL stage. And, well, yeah, that's the business. I own a business, man. If I feel like you're going to fuck up my flow, like, I think if you talk to people a certain way and explain it to them, you know what I mean? Like, when people go to all this and this and that, you got to sit down and be like, I got to come in there, but yo, my people, listen, it's like this, my nigga. I'm giving you shit out here to be hustling. You working for me now, all right? You out here hustling for me. I can't have you out here doing some other shit that's taken away from the business. You doing some shit that's fucking up my business that I have with other people. I can't have you here. You got to go. You know what I mean? And it's that kind of line, man. You know what I mean? But people run with it a whole nother way. But if you just put it in a money sense, that makes perfect sense in a money sense. To the NFL to say, we don't want no parts.
Exactly, a business.
It's a business, you know what I mean? And they're trying to do something, like I said, it didn't really stop me from watching the NFL. You know what I
mean? The thing that's going to stop people from watching the NFL is because they're going to try to turn it into fucking flag football. Right. That's what's stopping people from watching the NFL.
The actual playing.
When the NFL is talking about, we're not going to do no kick returns no more. We're not going to do no punt returns anymore because you got to understand, these people are really strong and these people are really strong and they're going to run into each other and it's like a car crash. Yes, I understand. We mature every day and we transcend and we become better human beings and better beings on this earth. But it's also like, man, he knows what he signed up for. He knows what he signed up for. And they're playing this sport. And I don't think as many people are going to be like, no, man, I stand with Cap. I'm not watching NFL anymore. Which, did Cap ever even say that? Because that's the other thing, too, is Cap doesn't fucking talk.
He never said, I need everybody, I want y'all to get behind me and ban the NFL. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, I never heard those exact statements come from him. Yep. Yeah, he comes out and says, I was blackballed. He's going to say these things that are going on. And, you know, and I say, that's fucked up. But then in a sense, I look at the other side, it's like, well, that's business, my man. You know what I mean? Like, that's money, man. You know what I mean? That's, you know, these guys, this is a fucking $1 billion business, bro. That they can fucking drop down and lose sponsors over some shit of your personal beliefs.
And I'm going to say, I'm not out there like searching for every Cap quote, but I will say in all of these stories, you never hear like, and then Kaepernick said, like he's the quietest person who said the least, who everybody still comes out and they're just like, no, this is what he meant. And this is how Cap feels when like, in my opinion, Cap's Twitter game should be out of control. Like, I've never seen him on a podcast. I've never seen him on anything.
He should be doing every and any interview he can and telling the people what he's doing to help out with the social injustice.
Yeah, to get or even just at the bare minimum to get his message across and how he feels about things. Because I feel like he's been the most spoken for instead of speaking for himself.
Right, the most spoken for instead of the most spoken. Yeah, that's crazy. You think about it that way. It's like, damn, man. He just said, nah, this is what I'm doing because he was initially speaking when it was first going down. It's for the social injustice, and he was very professional about it. He didn't come off nasty and asshole like, man, fuck this NFL, fuck this country.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is bullshit. They out here killing us, man. You know what I mean? He was like, listen, it's social injustice going on, and you know, and it's a silent protest. You know, I'm against it. I mean, why? It ain't no different than somebody being supporting breast cancer and wearing a pink bracelet, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what he believes. That's what he's supporting.
And that's
mean
why I'm
everybody has to.
hoping that Jay-Z actually is doing something, because I do like what he was saying during the press conference, where he's just like, no, but it's time to do something now. And I feel that so much because of all the people that you'll see online who are just like, I retweeted it. I'm done.
Right.
You know what I mean? The whole just like, or remember a couple years ago, I remember on Facebook when everyone was like, oh, change your profile picture so that they don't make the internet, a payable service, and that the internet, it's like, shut up. Like, what do you think that's doing? Like, do you think that somebody making the laws out there is just like, whoa, do you see how many people changed their profile picture? So now, because they were trying to limit the internet to where like different areas of the internet you'd have to pay to get to. And it wasn't just like how you pay $20 a month and everything's,
right. Because it's like that, man. It's like, at what point, what is it doing? Getting rid of every fucking Columbus statue is not changing the fact that he fucking came and did what he did. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not doing anything. It's not changing of what happened and where we are today. Why the fuck are we still looking in our rearview mirror, man? Like, Columbus did this shit. Who gives a fuck about the statue? Look at that statue and be like, yeah, and then you teach a kid, he was an asshole, but that asshole, this is the reason why we're here, and this is why you love your country, da-da-da. But, it all starts with an asshole, and you learn from that asshole, you know what I mean, to not be like him, and you feed off of good people.
Listen, let me drop some bars right now, because you're born, usually 90% of the time, you're born with the woman laying down. So you're born, and you come out of the vagine above the asshole. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay above the asshole. That's all we're trying to say.
Stay above the asshole.
Stay above the asshole.
That should be the name of the show right here.
It really should.
Stay
above the asshole.
Oof, because they all stink. And you'll be able to smell them because you're real close. So just stay the fuck away, man.
Stay above the asshole.
Oh, boy. But, it's... I hope this comes out to be a good thing.
Me too.
I hope they have, like you said, I hope they have a real solid plan, because if not, it'll be the laughing stock. You remember 2 years ago when Jay was supposed to do? Okay.
Well, like how when we were talking before, it was how many years did we hear like Russia hacked the election? But then nobody ever said a second sentence. And then finally, when they tried to get to
this
the second
is how we
sentence,
know. Like
years later, exactly. Like, tell me, Russia hacked the election, and this is what they did.
Right.
But then it turned out when they're just like, oh, Russia hacked the election because they bought Facebook ads and gave out wrong news. What? No. To me, hacking the election is like, hey, 14 people voted for Donald Trump, and we made it look like 56 people voted for
into the system, and we
to me, that was hacking, not like, oh, they bought fake ads. Yeah, that was your hack.
That was your
Kill
hack.
yourself. But like I said, man, I'm looking, I'm trying to be positive about it with Jay-Z saying, yo, it's time to actually do something. And that's what I hope that he does, man. I'm looking forward to that.
And that was a good one when he said,
and I hope that he knows that what he's going to do. I hope he's just not like, well, yeah, it's time to do something. Fuck.
Sitting there playing with his dreads like, I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Jay, you need a plan, Jay.
We're going to do it. We're
going to figure it out. Don't worry about it.
That was, like I said, I think that was the misstep there of, we're just announcing, yo, we're about to do something. And then pretty much everybody in the press conference there asked, all right, yeah, cool. Okay, what's up? And then it was just like,
we ain't work it out yet.
Nah, man, we're going to do it. Because even when Charlemagne asked Roger Goodall about Cap being blackballed, it was like watching the Democratic debate when they're just like, so, sir, what do you think about, the sewers in the streets? Well, listen, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to concentrate on flowers.
We're going to concentrate on more jobs.
Yeah. It was like, huh? I don't know.
What do you plan on doing to create equal, differences within the community and bringing everybody together? What do you plan on doing with that?
Yeah.
Well, the other day I
exactly
talking to Martha, and we went down to the bowling alley, and there were 6 pins, and where is this nigga going?
Yeah, that seemed like every question came back. Like they knew what they were going to say, regardless of the question,
right.
Which was
keep it uniform.
And talking about we're going to make a change, and we just want our communities to be better, which is cool,
which
and everybody does.
Right? Yeah.
But hey, man, I'm looking forward to. They're saying that they are going to do some action, which I think is the best thing, because there always is so much talk and so little action that, hopefully,
you can convince a lot of people to do a lot of things, man, but you just can't convince everybody to do everything.
Bars.
It's like, is it going to do something? Can Jay save the world from, probably not. Can he have a little dent in it? yeah, that's good. You know, everybody needs to make a dent. Dents, all dents make a crater eventually, nigga.
Dent ho.
You know what I mean? Just keep chipping away. Like you said, that was the realest shit ever quoted by the Mac, nigga. It's just like, it's an idea. You can't kill the shit overnight, man. It doesn't work that way. You don't just find fucking racism underneath the couch and vacuum it. You know what I mean? Oh, there it is. God damn it. I've been looking for that. It don't work like that, man.
The last one. We got it.
So, I mean, Jay and them is trying to do a part of. You know, and I can respect that and commend it, but you know, it ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna solve it. It's got to be mentality changes, man. People got to want to change, and maybe they can find the influence through that. But when you come around, when you have a negative thought process of thinking and doing things, you know, people that don't separate even like music, you know what I mean? You know, motherfuckers that talking about busting pussy and you know what I mean? You know, we listen to the most raunchy shit. I love this shit. Don't get me wrong, but I know how to fucking separate. You know what I mean? I think some people just don't. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's entertainment. Yeah, I can say about, Tatiana, bust open that pussy open. But you know what? I'm not running around the street saying, let's come in and bust that pussy open, boo. You know, like in the middle of fucking, the bank or something.
But the funny thing is there are people that will go up to a woman and is like, yo, bust that pussy open for a real one. And you're like, why would you ever even say that out loud?
And these young ladies buy into it because that's what, to them, they're not separating of what that don't sound right. To them, it's like, I see it works, and it's like they get the attention, and yeah, that's cool. So now they're running around saying disrespectful shit about women, and they're a woman doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you can separate it, then it's cool. You know what I mean? It's like, like I know a lot of, girls back in the 90s that were like, bitches ain't shit for hoes and trick. You know what I mean? Like, and they were loving it, but they were like not going around being that hoe. You know what I mean? Of like, you know what I mean? They still knew that, hey, if I go around and suck a bunch of dicks, I'm probably going to be labeled a hoe. You know what I mean? And
the weird thing now is women are like, why can't I just suck a bunch of dicks and not be a hoe? And you're like, because there's definitions.
I know.
There's definitions.
And one of my biggest peeves where I always go at this one, and I love this, and you all heard it, we've all heard it, when somebody says, well, if a guy can do it, why can't we? And I hate that, because my whole thing is, when they say it to me, my first thing goes, let me ask you something. When a guy does it, do you think it's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's wrong. So
do you like
why
it?
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you think that's fucked up what he's doing and it's wrong, then why would you do that fucked up and wrong thing? To me, when they do that and you use that excuse, it's an excuse because you're scared to admit that you're just like that guy. You know what I mean? You like to go suck dick and you like to be a hoe. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Guys get that rep. We're like, yeah, we like pussy. We like to fuck a lot. And that's, we get that. But if you're doing what I'm doing, but I only do it because guys do it. No, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're doing it because you like to do it.
Yeah, it's just a bad excuse.
Right. Come on. I hate that excuse. I always combat that. Well, guys, good. Sit your ass down. Let's talk about this.
Let's rap about it.
Right. And then if you go, no, it's not wrong. Okay, then why are you complaining? If you think it's not wrong, then don't complain.
Exactly.
If you think it's wrong, then don't do it. It's pretty simple.
Truth.
Niggas is niggas.
Yo, listen, we tackle too many issues. But we try to tackle the world all at once, and it's tough. But that's what you come here for at the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast, and we appreciate you for joining us. Episode 87 on man. These hoes.
Listen, dusted top, young pastry, nigga, a pastry, nigga, that pastry. Woo! I don't know what that looks like.
Being drunk outside is young piss tree. You know, sometimes you piss on the tree because you're drunk outside.
Oh, at the end of the day,
it's the beginning of the night.
You niggas just caught bars and lessons and hug your friends, nigga.
Stay above that asshole one time.
Above that asshole.
Come on.
Oof, shit.